What if I told you that the most beautiful interior design trend in the world right now costs less to achieve than a weekend shopping trip to IKEA? No marble countertops, no designer furniture, no interior decorator charging you by the hour. Just calm, just simplicity, just a home that actually feels like a place to breathe. This is Japandi, and by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly how to bring this look into your home for a fraction of what you think it costs. Today, we are going on a full deep dive into one of the most searched, most loved, and honestly most misunderstood design styles of the decade. I'm going to break down what Japandi actually is, where it came from, the exact principles behind it, and then, room by room, I'll show you how to achieve the look on a real budget using things you can find at thrift stores, secondhand markets, and budget home retailers. Stay until the end, because I've got one budget tip that completely changed how I approach decorating, and it will change how you see a plain room forever. Japandi is exactly what it sounds like, a blend of Japanese and Scandinavian design philosophies. But it isn't just about slapping some wooden furniture next to a bamboo plant and calling it a day. It runs much deeper than aesthetics. It's a philosophy of living. Let's start with the Japanese side. Japanese interior design is rooted in a concept called wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection, of things that are worn, natural, aged, and incomplete. A cracked ceramic mug isn't flawed in a wabi-sabi home. It's interesting. It has a story. It's more beautiful because of its imperfection, not in spite of it. Then there's a Japanese concept that roughly translates to negative space. In Japanese design, the empty space in a room is not wasted space. It is intentional space. It is breathing room. It gives what is there more meaning. Now let's cross over to Scandinavia. Scandinavian design, and think Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, is built on the concept of hygge, pronounced huga. Hygge is the feeling of coziness, warmth, togetherness. It's candles on a dark evening, a soft throw blanket, a warm cup of tea in a quiet room. It's function and comfort living together in perfect balance. Scandinavian design is also famous for its devotion to functionality. Every object earns its place in a room. If something doesn't serve a purpose, visual or practical, it probably doesn't belong there. Now here's where it gets interesting. These two design worlds seem opposite at first glance. Japan is about wabi-sabi imperfection, and Scandinavia is about clean, functional precision. But when they meet, something magical happens. They share far more than they differ. Both love natural materials, the wood, linen, stone, clay, rattan. Both celebrate restraint over excess. Both value quality over quantity. Both believe a home should feel like a refuge, not a showroom. Japandi takes the cozy warmth of Scandinavian hygge and marries it with the mindful stillness of Japanese minimalism. The result is a home that feels serene but not cold, simple but not sterile, minimal but not empty. And that, right there, is why this style resonates so deeply with so many people right now. Because we are all in some way searching for calm in a noisy world. Before we get into the budget tips and shopping strategies, you need to understand the 5 core pillars of Japandi design. Master these and you can walk into any thrift store and instantly know what belongs in a Japandi home and what doesn't. Pillar 1. The color palette. Japandi color is muted, earthy, and warm. Think of it as the colors of a forest floor after rain. Creamy whites, warm beiges, soft grays, muted greens, dusty clay tones, and the occasional deep charcoal or ink, black as an anchor. What you will not see in a Japandi space is bright white, too cold, pure gray, too clinical, or any bold, saturated colors competing for attention. Every color in the palette should feel like it could exist in nature without trying. A good rule of thumb: if you can find it on a forest walk, it belongs in a Japandi palette. Pillar 2. Natural materials. This is probably the single most important pillar. Japandi design lives and dies on natural materials. Light woods, oak, ash, birch, bamboo. Raw textiles, linen, cotton, jute, wool. Handmade ceramics, stone, rattan, cane. The key word here is raw. These materials should look like they came from the earth and barely stopped on their way into your home. Highly polished, synthetic, or shiny materials are the enemy of Japandi. Pillar 3. Intentional minimalism. Less is genuinely more here. But this is not about an empty, cold, unwelcoming space. It's about curation. Every single object in a Japandi room was chosen on purpose. Nothing is there by accident. Nothing is left on a surface because it had nowhere else to go. Ask yourself about every item you own. Does this add beauty, function, or meaning to this space? If the answer is no to all three, it doesn't belong. Pillar 4. Functional beauty. In Japandi, your everyday objects are your decor. A beautiful hand-thrown bowl doesn't get hidden in a cupboard. It sits on the counter. A worn wooden cutting board doesn't get put away. It leans against the backsplash as a visual element. Function and beauty are the same thing. This matters enormously for budget decorating because it means you don't need to buy separate decorative items. You just need to choose your functional items more thoughtfully. Pillar 5. Connection to nature. Japandi spaces always bring the outside in, not in an overwhelming plant-everywhere maximalist way, but gently. One beautiful plant, a branch from the garden in a ceramic vase, a bowl of smooth river stones, a handful of dried grasses. Nature is the original designer, and Japandi never forgets it. Now let's talk money. Because here's the truth about Japandi that nobody tells you. This style was practically designed for budget decorating. Let me explain why. Because Japandi values natural materials and honest imperfection over glossy newness. A second-hand ceramic bowl that's slightly chipped is actually more Japandi than a brand new perfect one. A worn linen cushion from a charity shop is more Japandi than a crisp one from a department store. The age, the wear, the history, that's the wabi-sabi. That's the point. Here is your core budget shopping framework. Step 1. Thrift stores and charity shops first, always. When you're looking for ceramics, wooden trays, woven baskets, linen throws, or small decorative objects, go secondhand first. You will find things that look more Japandi than anything in a high street home store for a tenth of the price. Train your eye to look past the clutter and see the material and shape. Step 2. The IKEA hack is your best friend. IKEA's core furniture line, and especially pieces in light oak, birch, and bamboo finishes, is almost accidentally Japandi. The Kallax shelf unit, the Roskog trolley, the Lissabo table, these pieces have clean lines and natural materials. The secret is what you don't buy from IKEA. Skip the bright colors, skip the shiny chrome, skip anything that looks overly manufactured. Go for the light wood, the natural fibers, the simple silhouettes, and style them with thrifted ceramics and plants. Step 3. Shop your own home before you spend a single penny. Walk through every room with fresh eyes and pull out anything that fits the Japandi principles. Natural material, muted color, simple form. You probably already own more Japandi pieces than you realize. Wooden salad bowl, a plain linen tablecloth, a terracotta plant pot, a smooth stone you picked up on a beach. These things are already there. Step 4. Nature is free. A branch from a tree in your garden placed in a tall ceramic bottle is more beautiful than a dollar faux plant from a home store. Dried grasses, pine cones, interesting stones, feathers. Nature gives you Japandi decor for nothing. Step 5. Invest in 1 or 2 quality anchor pieces. If you're going to spend money anywhere, spend it on the things that anchor your room. A good quality linen sofa cover or throw, a beautiful handmade ceramic, a solid wood coffee table. These pieces will elevate everything around them and make even cheap thrift store finds look intentional. The living room. The living room is where Japandi shines most powerfully, and it starts with editing. Before you add anything, take things away. Remove at least a third of what's currently on your shelves, surfaces, and walls. Put them in a box. Live without them for a week. You'll be amazed how much calmer the room feels immediately. For your sofa, if you can't replace it, cover it. A neutral linen or cotton throw draped naturally, not folded perfectly, changes the entire feel of a sofa. Pair it with 2 or 3 cushions in muted, natural tones. Odd numbers always look more natural than even. Your coffee table should have almost nothing on it. 1 tray. In that tray, 1 candle, 1 small plant, or a few stones, maybe 1 book. That's it. The tray creates a frame. It tells the eye, this arrangement is intentional, and it keeps the surface feeling curated rather than cluttered. For walls, Japandi rooms typically have very little wall art. If you do use art, go for 1 larger piece. A simple botanical print, an abstract in earthy tones, or a piece of calligraphy. Avoid gallery walls, avoid bright colors. Leave some wall space bare, as remember, empty space is a design choice. Lighting is crucial. Ditch harsh overhead lights if you can. Add floor lamps with warm-toned bulbs, table lamps with linen or rattan shades, and always add candles. The bedroom. The bedroom is the most personal Japandi space, and the goal is one thing above all else: serenity. When you walk in, you should feel your shoulders drop. Bedding is your biggest budget impact point. White or warm linen bedding, even from budget retailers, instantly transforms a bedroom. Look for textured weaves, natural fibers, and avoid anything with loud patterns or bright colors. Linen bedding from budget online retailers can cost as little as $30 or $40 and will make your bed look like a luxury hotel. Keep your bedside table almost clear. One lamp, one book, one small plant, or a single dried flower in a tiny vase. That's all it needs. If you have bedroom storage, keep it behind closed doors. The Japandi bedroom conceals the practical and reveals only the beautiful. The kitchen. You don't need to renovate your kitchen to make it feel Japandi. You need to edit it and style what's left. Clear your countertops of everything that isn't both beautiful and functional. Put away the toaster if you don't use it daily. Clear the jars you haven't opened in months. What stays on your counter? A wooden chopping board leaned against the wall. A simple ceramic bowl holding fruit or garlic. A small plant in a terracotta pot. A beautiful olive oil bottle. These are functional objects that also serve as decor. Decant your dried goods, rice, pasta, oats, into simple glass or ceramic jars. This single step transforms a cluttered pantry shelf into something that looks completely intentional. You can find these jars at thrift stores for almost nothing. The bathroom. Even a rented bathroom with dated tiles can feel Japandi with the right styling. Keep your counter clear. One beautiful soap dispenser, even a refillable bottle in a neutral color, one small plant like an aloe vera or a trailing pothos, and one folded linen hand towel draped simply over the edge of the counter. A bamboo bath mat instead of a synthetic one. A wooden or rattan tray to hold your bathroom essentials. If you can add one large-leafed tropical plant in the corner, the steam from showers actually helps them thrive, do it. It completely transforms the atmosphere. I promised you at the beginning that I had one budget tip that would change everything. Here it is. And it's less of a shopping tip and more of a mindset shift. Stop trying to make your home look like a photo. Start trying to make your home feel like a feeling. Every Japandi image you see in a magazine or on Pinterest was styled. That candle was placed in that exact spot. That plant was turned to face that exact angle. Nobody actually lives with 3 perfect objects on a coffee table and nothing else. Real life happens in these spaces. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is intentionality. Japandi philosophy, especially the Japanese side of it, is deeply rooted in mindfulness, in noticing what you have, in choosing what surrounds you with care, in letting go of what no longer serves you. When you approach your home as a practice, a daily ongoing act of curation and care, rather than a project to be finished, everything changes. You stop seeing it as expensive. You stop feeling overwhelmed by the gap between where you are and where you want to be. You start to see the beauty that's already there. That chipped mug you've had for 10 years? That's wabi-sabi. That worn wooden floor that needs refinishing? That's character. The plant that's a little too big for its pot now? That's a living thing growing in your home. Japandi doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be present. And that, I promise you, costs absolutely nothing. So there you have it, the complete guide to Japandi interior design on a real, honest budget. To recap, understand the philosophy before you go shopping. Edit ruthlessly before you add anything. Shop secondhand first. Let nature do the decorating. Invest in your textiles. And above all, stop chasing the perfect photo and start building a home that feels like you. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach people who are looking for exactly this kind of content. And subscribe if you want more videos on sustainable, budget-friendly home design, because I have a lot more coming. Drop a comment below and let me know. What room in your home are you going to tackle with Japandi principles first? I read every single comment, and I would love to know. Links to everything I mentioned are in the description, including my favorite budget sources for linen, ceramics, and natural textures. Thank you so much for watching. Go make yourself a cup of tea, put it in your favorite slightly imperfect mug, and enjoy the calm. See you in the next one.